See, any general motion can be represented in two ways. Either you can represent them as translation plus rotation, or you can consider it as rotation about some instantaneous axis. So I will see that in case of pure rolling also, I can represent them in two different ways, and both the approaches are equivalent. Let's see how. Now these are the most general formulae for arbitrary motion of a rigid body. We had seen this. Any general motion is translation plus of center of mass plus rotation about an axis passing through center of mass. L about O is equal to L of center of mass about O plus L about center of mass, and K total is equal to this thing. These are the underlying concept, and from this you get these numerical formula which you would have seen many times. Okay, so I will say that, okay, how come these formulae give you same thing? Now say pure rolling can be treated as combination of translation of center of mass plus rotation about center of mass, or it can be treated as rotation about an instantaneous axis of rotation passing through this P, point of contact. Now these two approaches are exactly same. I will show you how. You see, first of all, suppose I have taken arbitrary point, say Q, and I have to find, say, velocity of this point Q. Using this method, what I will get? V will be this V center of mass plus rotation about center of mass, meaning this rotation about this center of mass. Now suppose from P, as this your origin, this vector is, say, R, the position of center of mass is capital R, and position with respect to center of mass is R prime, the same old notation which we had used last time also. So I can write R is equal to capital R, this is center of mass, let's write it this way also, plus R prime. Okay, now you see this V is equal to VCM plus rotation about center of mass. So what will be the rotation velocity about center of mass? I can write it as omega cross R prime. All these are vector equations. Now what is this VCM? This VCM is nothing but omega cross R, RCM. Why? Because about this P also, this center of mass is rotating with omega, and R is the position vector. So VCM I can add omega cross R. So let's write it here. This is my VCM. That VCM is omega cross R. So if I write it here, I will get omega cross RCM plus omega cross R prime. So let's bring this here. I will get omega, I can take outside. I will get RCM plus R prime. Now what is RCM plus R prime? This is nothing but R. So this is equal to omega cross R. So arbitrary Q, what is the velocity of this arbitrary Q? It is omega cross R vector. Now what does this mean? This means this V is rotation about an instantaneous axis of rotation passing through P. If you use this method to find V, you will get V is equal to omega cross R. Both are same, exactly same. Why it has come true? Because this VCM is equal to omega cross RCM. That is the condition of pure rolling, that VCM is equal to omega RCM. I am using the scalar version of this equation. Because of this condition of pure rolling, I have seen that this pure rolling and this approach to represent pure rolling, that is translation plus rotation, is same as pure rotation about this axis P. Okay. In case of pure rolling, we have seen that pure rolling can also be considered as a rotation about an instantaneous axis which is passing through this point of contact P. Now suppose there is rolling with forward slipping. In that case also, can we find out any instantaneous axis about which I can say that my body is rotating? The answer is yes. You see how? Suppose you are having rolling with forward slipping, then what will happen? That this point will have a small velocity, whatever that is V. Obviously this will be less than this 2 VCM. So I can consider an axis instantaneous axis which is passing through a point somewhere here, and any instantaneous axis passing through this point, suppose this, let's call this P1 or whatever, then you see what I can do, this motion can be considered as a rotation passing about an instantaneous axis passing through this point P1. For that matter, I can say that any general motion can be obtained as a rotation about an instantaneous axis. Suppose I have been given a general irregular shaped body, something like this, and this is my 2 points on this body. Suppose this is point 1 and this is another point 2. Now this point 1 is having total velocity something like this, v1. This is the total velocity, not velocity with respect to center mass or whatever. This is the total velocity with respect to, say, any arbitrary origin which is here. Now suppose this is v1 is the velocity of particle 1, v2 is the velocity of particle 2. Now we draw perpendiculars from v1. So suppose this is a perpendicular line, you draw a perpendicular from v2, this is with another line, and suppose these two lines meet at an intersection points, let's call it O1. Then what I can say is there will be an instantaneous axis about passing through O1, and these two motions and motions of any other particle can be considered as rotation about this instantaneous axis. And this is a well proved theorem in dynamics, and it's very simple to prove. You can see for yourself also, because you see V has to be omega cross R. So V is cross product of R, so V has to be in perpendicular direction with R. Similarly, this, for this V also, whatever the R, that origin has to lie somewhere on this line. For this V1 also, the axis, the origin has to lie somewhere on this line. So wherever these two intersect, this will be my instantaneous axis of rotation, will be passing through this point. So in this case, suppose now there is rolling with forward slipping. So the same formula, if I am the same theorem if I am using, you take, this is the 2 VCM, this is VCM, you take perpendicular from this, it will pass through this. You take perpendicular from this, it will also pass through this. So ultimately it will be somewhere here, that instantaneous axis of rotation will be passing through this point. Now what will happen in case of, say, suppose there is rolling with backward slipping. In backward slipping also, this V will be in this direction. Okay. In this case also, rolling with backward slipping also, your instantaneous axis will be passing through a point on this line, but it will be somewhere, I would say, at this point. Why? Then only, because your origin is here, or your instantaneous axis will be passing through this point, then only you can have velocity in this direction for here and in this direction for this P prime. So but these things are normally not asked in exam, but just for your information, that if you have been given any arbitrary two particles and their velocity for an irregular shaped body also, you can find a instantaneous axis of rotation. Now let's see the other case which we were discussing, that pure rolling case. Pure rolling, how we can show that even calculation of angular momentum, that is L about O, will be same using this approach and using this approach. Suppose you are saying that okay, pure rolling is combination of translation of center of mass plus rotation about center of mass, and what will be your L? And the component LZ will be this thing plus IZ center of mass omega. If I write this, this will become, since my V for pure rolling is R, V is equal to R omega, so I can write it as M R square omega. I am just taking the scalar components now, plus this will be IZ center of mass omega. Now you take omega common, you will get MR square plus IZ passing through center of mass omega. The same value of LZ you will get using this also. How? Now you have to find rotation about an axis, instantaneous axis passing through P. So LZ will be using this approach, it will be IP omega. Now what is IP? Using parallel axis theorem, this IP is nothing but this thing. So IP is MR square plus I center of mass and the whole omega. So this approach also shows that for calculation of LZ also, whether you use this thing or you use this thing, you will get the same answer. Similarly, for calculation of kinetic energy also, I can prove that using both the approaches, the calculation of kinetic energy also will be same. In this case also, for pure rolling, V will be R omega, so this will become half m r square omega square plus half I center of mass omega square. I take omega square common, so I will get half m r square plus I center of mass omega square is outside. This is using this approach. If I am using this approach, that is rotation about p, then I will get half IP omega square. Now what is IP using parallel axis theorem? This is mr square plus I center of mass omega square. So you are getting same answer whether using this approach or this approach. I have shown that this approach or this approach both are exactly same for calculation of velocity, calculation of angular momentum, and even for calculation of kinetic energy. So this means that these two approaches of pure rolling, either as combination of translation of center of mass plus rotation about center of mass, or pure rolling as rotation about an instantaneous axis of passing through P, they are one and the same thing. Some students might be wondering that in this formula why I have not used half mv square. Don't never use that thing. Why? Because you have already taken care of this velocity of center of mass when you are assuming that your rotation is about this axis. When your rotation is about this axis, this VCM, what is that VCM? R omega, that is already taken care of in this thing. So this is the most general formula. One should always try to solve any question using this formula, because some of you might get confused that okay, in this formula also that k is equal to half IP omega square also, you will start writing something like plus half m velocity of center of mass. If you use this thing, you are doubly counting velocity of center of mass. You are counting that in 2 times. So you should not use that thing, because that velocity of center of mass has already been taken care of when I am assuming rotation about this P.